Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are laser focused on one thing and one thing only: how to get your packages from China fast. We're diving deep into express couriers and, more importantly, how you can get that lightning speed without paying that crazy premium price.
So let's set the scene. You've got a product sample you need to approve, an urgent replacement part for a machine, or maybe a small batch of inventory. And let's be honest, you probably needed it yesterday, right? You're looking for the absolute fastest, no questions asked way to get that small package from China right to your door.
And that's exactly where express shipping shines, promising to get your package to you in a blistering 2 to 7 days. I mean, that's fast. But there's always a catch, isn't there? That incredible speed usually comes with a seriously high price tag. It's that classic dilemma: pay a fortune for speed or save money and wait. Well, today we're going to find out if you really have to choose.
All right, let's get into it. Before we can figure out how to save a bunch of money, we first have to really understand what express shipping even is and, what's happening behind the curtain. So at its heart, an express courier service is pretty straightforward. It's the top-tier, fastest shipping method you can get for small packages, and we're usually talking about anything under about 25 kilograms. This is the world of the giants you've heard of. Think DHL, FedEx, UPS. Their entire system is built from the ground up for one thing and one thing only: pure speed.
But you know that 2 to 7 day window we talked about? It's not exactly set in stone. The final delivery time is really more of a moving target. It depends on a bunch of things, like where in the world it's going, which courier you actually pick, what's inside the box, and even the time of year. A holiday rush or a random customs delay can easily tack on an extra day or two.
And you can really see the differences when you line them up side by side. Look at DHL and FedEx. They're often at the absolute top of the speed game, sometimes promising delivery in as little as 2 business days. UPS is right there with them, and then you have a courier like Aramex, which might be a tad slower but often tries to compete on price, which, conveniently, is what we're talking about next.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about what's on everyone's mind: the cost. How much is all this speed actually going to set you back? And how do these big names really stack up against each other when it comes to the price tag?
So the final number you see on that invoice really boils down to 4 main things. First, the weight and the size of your package. And just a heads up, they'll charge you for whichever is greater, the actual weight or the dimensional weight. Second, where it's going. Some countries are just more expensive to ship to. And finally, the courier company itself, because trust me, their rates can be all over the map.
If we zoom out a bit, here's the general lay of the land. DHL is kind of your premium top shelf option. Super fast, amazing service, but yeah, you're gonna pay for it. FedEx often hits that perfect sweet spot: really good service and speed for more middle-of-the-road cost. And then you have your more budget-friendly players like Aramex, who might be a little slower but can save you a good chunk of change.
Okay, let's put some real numbers on this. Say we're shipping a 5-kilogram package to the US. As you can see, both DHL and FedEx are clearing $100. But then look at HSD Express, coming in at just over $86. I mean, that's a real difference for the exact same package going to the exact same place.
And check this out. The price gaps can get even wider depending on where you're sending it. If we ship that same 5-kilo package to the UK, DHL is almost $120. But HSD Express or Unexpress, they can get it done for under $55. That's literally less than half the price. It just goes to show you absolutely have to compare quotes for your specific route.
So after seeing those prices, you might be thinking, okay, express shipping is just way too expensive for me. But what if I told you there's a way to get that exact same DHL or FedEx service, but for a fraction of what you'd normally pay? Let's talk about the smart shipping secret.
You see, the prices we just looked at are what most people pay, but they're not what everyone pays. Because here's the part that most importers, especially if you're a smaller business, just have no idea about: that you can slash your express shipping costs by 30, sometimes even 60%. And I'm not talking about picking a slower service. I mean getting the exact same premium, high-speed service from the big guys, just for way, way less money. So how on earth is that possible? Well, the answer is something called wholesale shipping contracts. See, huge volume shippers and freight forwarders, they go directly to DHL and FedEx and they negotiate these massive bulk rate deals. They promise to send tons and tons of packages, and in return, they get access to these incredible discounts that you and I could never get on our own. And this is where working with a logistics partner changes the whole game.
When you work with a company that has these wholesale contracts, you essentially get to piggyback on their massive discount. All of a sudden, you get access to their lower rates with every single major courier, plus you get their help with all the tricky stuff like customs and pickups, all while getting the same reliable tracking you'd expect.
All right, let's bring it all home and wrap this up with the most important takeaways. Because the goal here isn't just about shipping faster, it's really about shipping smarter.
So here's what you absolutely need to remember. First, Express is your go-to for speed, that 2 to 7 day window. Second, prices are all over the place, so never assume one courier is always the cheapest. Third, you have to compare real-world prices for your specific shipment every single time. And fourth, the big one, logistics partners are your key to unlocking those incredible 30 to 60% wholesale discounts.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Whether you're running a business or just shipping something here and there, what could you do with an extra 30, 40, or even 60% back in your budget? That's the power of shipping smarter. Thanks for checking out this explainer.